Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Erotic Life Podcast. I am Miss SB of Erotic Concierge LLC, which I think a lot of you probably seen me on the podcast with Marty and Tangerine. I am the sex coach, and I have with me one of my partners, Body of Adonis.
What's going on? What's going on?
And we are here to talk all things erotic, pretty much. Right now, we are giving you an introduction to who we are, what we do, and why we do it. Like I said before, I am a certified sex coach, and I do currently do one-on-one sessions. But we also are a event planning group. We do marketing, we do production, we do quite a few things under our umbrella. Mostly for me, I am the person who curates the one-on-one sessions. I teach people how to get that fire back in their relationships. As far as Boa, Body of Adonis, is concerned, I'll let him go ahead and tell you about what it is that he does.
My name is Body of Adonis, like she said, and I'm an erotic author. I've been in a lifestyle since like 2008, so there's experiences and things that we bring to the table. Also, I do erotic sensual massage in my office here in the city, and that's it, pretty much.
Well, hey, I know everybody's like, oh, this is different. You know, we finally got some people that's willing to talk about being lifestyle or, you know, what do they call it, like being swingers or
swing. I mean, it's so many different categories, you know. I mean,
but the politically correct.
But the politically correct. I just say lifestyle because it's like the umbrella, and there's so many different things under it, you know, depending on what because everybody has their own thing, you know. But typically, when you say, you know, lifestyle, you're referring to swinging.
Yeah. Well, I always say the swingers and the civilians.
Civilians, yeah. It's so funny to hear someone else say civilians because literally, like, my whole time in the lifestyle, when I was real heavy in it back in, like I said, 2009, 10, 11, around there, I just naturally referred people who were not, you know, lifestyle minded as civilians. You know, you guys are the regular people, you know,
or the vanilla people.
Yeah, vanilla. Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it, you know, because you know I don't shame anybody for, you know, choosing to live a quote unquote normal, you know, typical lifestyle that everybody else lives, because we're so far outside of the norm. I don't want anybody judging me. You know, so it's like, hey, it's not for everybody. I get it, you know.
It's definitely not. It's one of the things that people, you know, ask me with coaching. Mm-hmm. It's like, how do people get into the lifestyle? And it's usually because they're looking for something extra. You know, they want a little bit more, you know, than the other. Someone wants more, you know what I mean, than the other. So they try to figure out a way to get into the lifestyle. And it's not easy.
It's not. But, I mean, number one, for people that are interested in the lifestyle, it's like it's not a bandage. You know, it can't be something used to fix something that's broken in your relationship or marriage. Like, it has to be something that's like throwing lighter fluid on an already burning flame, you know, and that's how I always saw it.
I think I'm pretty much equated, like when people say lifestyle and swingers, it's like going to a party and everybody's just like on top of each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's. I mean, people think all kind of stuff. I mean, they make all kind of assumptions about it. But you know, my first experience was it was amazing. Like, it was about 40 people, and it was, you know, they had snacks and food and stuff like that. And I was sitting there nervous as hell, and everybody's talking about news and sports, and I'm like, why is no one acting like we're all about to fuck each other? You know what I'm saying? So it was, but it taught me that these are just everyday normal people. You know, they just have extra and different sexual interest, and they're not afraid to live their sexual truths. You know, and I actually enjoyed being around people that were that free,
Open minded.
yeah, and it allowed me to spread my wings, so to speak, and become free, because I've always been, you know, into erotica. I always been into next level sex and things like that. But stepping into that world was like, it was like, wow, I'm actually living. You know, I mean, I think in that one night I knocked out most of my sexual bucket list items. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
Like, yeah, it was crazy. I'm like, wow, and I can do this. So I went to 5 parties with that group, and the first 2 were just amazing, but then they just kind of got progressively worse after that. So I chilled. Then the next year I met my ex, and then we were immediately started, you know, swinging once I found out, you know, she was bi and tried to be in a lifestyle where her ex didn't work, and I had just had my experiences, so we were like, bet. So,
Like, let's make it work.
Let's make it happen.
But when you say like they like got worse, like the parties got worse, the people got worse.
People, yeah, quality people. I mean, I
I can see that.
there's nothing wrong with having standards. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to play just because you're there. You know, if you don't see people that you're attracted to, that you don't like. You know, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fall back. After that 5th one, it was just like, it's just getting worse. Especially, I was brought in on such a high standard with those first 2 parties. So I was ready to get it in like I did in those first couple ones. But this, you know, the 3, 4, and 5 were just like, you know, a lot of people standing around, and you know, but then those first couple parties, man, I mean,
So you got spoiled quick.
oh, I got spoiled immediately. I mean, hell, I was playing football, I was modeling, I was the most chill dude in the room. So people, you know, as soon as the lights went out, 3 women walked up to me, and I was like, what is this? Okay, this is how we doing it, and it was on and popping from there. So, you know, but I did a lot of parties, you know, with a bunch of different groups with my ex, you know, through those 6 years, until I developed the ability to bring people together, because I'm a very private person, you know, when it comes to those things like that. So it's like, going to parties is cool and everything, but once you meet people and you kind of get your group, get your clique together, then that's just who you rock with. And at that point, it wasn't a point in me even going to parties, because we already had our lifestyle friends.
Okay.
You know, so once you do that, and then I I always joke and say that my sexuality is my mutant power, because I have the ability to make people feel comfortable with themselves, because I'm so comfortable with myself, and it allows them to say, okay, well, this is my deepest, darkest fantasy. I'm like, okay, well then let's make it happen, you know. And then they're like, oh my God, we can really do it. I'm like, yeah, we can really do it. I can call some friends, you know. So I mean, that's been my one of my friends called me the puppet master, because, like I said, I just have an ability to bring people together, and people that have not necessarily been in the lifestyle but have had thoughts and interests, like low key. You know, they're like, well, he's super cool about it. You know, he's not judgmental. He's a cool dude. Then you know, mainly women, of course. Then they're like, well, this is my deepest fantasy. This is what I've been thinking about. This is about what I've been wanting to try. But they haven't met anybody, especially a black man, that's as a woman is accepting of their sexuality on that level. So it's just like, you know, it just happens, man.
And open, you know,
Yeah.
to a black man that's open to, you know, being a part of the lifestyle, because, you know, there's so many different taboos when it comes to our people
Yeah.
and the lifestyle. You know, somebody always got something to say. It's so judgmental, because that's just how we are, you know, with each other.
Very close-minded.
Yeah, very
people as a whole,
close-minded.
when it comes to things like that. Yeah.
Because even with me, you know, becoming a sex coach, it was just like, oh, so you're going to teach people how to fuck? And it's like,
It's more than that.
It's so much more than
more
that.
than
It's about, you know, rebuilding the relationship and like showing people that there's different ways to meet, you know, in the middle, so that everybody gets what they want.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So even with the lifestyle situation for me, I haven't had the opportunity to really jump into the lifestyle as far as like parties and things like that, but I've been to the clubs, like the bigger name clubs.
Yeah.
And
that it's like the opposite for me.
Yeah,
I haven't been to the big clubs like that, especially out of state, but everything I've done is like,
been local, just kind of more intimate. The big ones are a business.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely a business. And an experience within itself, just going in and just seeing how people react to one another was totally the opposite of like what I thought I was going to walk into. You know, everybody on top of each other. You just, everywhere you turn, there was something going on. Totally the opposite.
Yeah, it's all the big parties. I've been to those big parties with 600-700 people, and it's like a party. There's a DJ and a dance floor, and I mean, people are a little bit more sexually open, nobody's like getting in on the dance floor. They say that for afterwards, but I mean, you might see somebody get fingered, or a lot of overly sexual dancing and things like that, and people just talking. And then when after that social hour is over, everybody goes to the rooms. And then that's when you're walking down the hall. Oh my God, you can walk down the hall and see whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? and like I said, the smaller, but I like the smaller gatherings, and that's why I say, for me, getting a group of people together that I trust and they know, if I wasn't, I'm single now, but when I'm in a relationship, it's like, okay, these are our rules, our guidelines, what we do and we don't do. We had those conversations before, and when you have a group of people that already know what to do and they respect those rules and guidelines, everything just flows smoothly, So that's why I say the smaller ones. But sometimes you got to go to those bigger ones to build your small circle, because you can meet, the people that you want to bring into your circle at those larger events.
Has that been the same experience for you?
My experiences have been kind of, what's the word I want to say? They've been interesting, to say the least.
on a like a small intimate or large, or kind of a mix of both?
I haven't been to any like real large events. I know some people that have. So people always like, kind of like put me on like, what's up, what's popping here, and how things be going or whatever. So there's a lot of events that I've missed on the weekend just because, I'm a DJ full time. So they be having these events and I miss out because I'm DJing somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then at some point, they one lady, she tried to start hiring me or whatever, but I ain't fit their budget, so I wasn't offended.
For those, hire you for the event, to do the DJ for the events?
Yeah, and especially since I was already a part of the community, so you ain't got to worry about, nobody being extra. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and you know what to play for that type of setting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they just want to hear regular stuff. Like it's not like anything special per se. Like you might have people that give you like special requests or whatever, but you
that's
know
like
any
club or bar, pretty much.
So
right?
It just depends on the group of people that you are associated with in the community. So like you got some people, they think is they gonna in a way rave it up. So they just want to hear some pounding music the whole time, and they just vibing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because for some of them, it get them in that place. They be ready, they blood pumping, and they be all whatever. You know what I'm saying? So.
And then it's go time.
But then you got other spots. They wanted it to be a little more, you know what I'm saying, cool and more sensual and like,
a little more sexy.
Yeah. So it just kind of depends. But they typically, you know what I'm saying, they just had regular parties like everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
I think one that I went to was pretty kind of hood. A little bit.
There are those,
and I stay as far away from those as possible.
I just experienced one not too long ago.
Yeah, like
and yeah,
like I don't even know. I'm giving off a face. That's really how it was. Like,
yeah, some people, but you can tell by the quality of the event how involved somebody is in the community for real, and who's kind of like trying to create their own. You know what I'm saying?
Like a vet that's been in it a while versus somebody that's just getting started and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of can be like the difference. And then you got certain people, they just in certain pockets. So I'm like, like if you would enjoy a certain type of thing, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of dangerous for you to be trying to integrate just random people
Yeah.
into this type of setting. You know what I'm saying? So me and my wife just experienced that recently. You know, we sit down with this chick, the organizer. She asked us to do a demonstration. We was going to, do a little something. And we ain't end up doing anything just because the vibe in the room, like
The energy ain't right.
You got random people that you just was going out to different spots, you know what I'm saying, through the city trying to get them to come to this event. Then you got people that ain't even dressed up for the event. Like, how you gonna coin something as a lingerie party? And
you got people
ain't
that's in
nobody
street clothes.
even in lingerie.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? So, I've seen stuff that was like super dope. They be putting on like full productions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got like what I just experienced with my wife. It's like
The hood.
damn. And then, other stuff was like, more intimate or whatever. So I'm in a couple different groups that like meet regularly. They meet monthly. They do what's called munches. So people that's in the community, they know about a munch. Those are kind of like popular in the community. So it give people a chance to like meet with each other that are in the community. They ain't got to worry about being looked at funny, judged, and all that other stuff. Because, typically, if you tell somebody you into something kinky or whatever,
they're like,
the average person is like, ugh.
But that's our people, though. Our people are like
it's
that.
all people.
I think it's people in general, man. Because people, in general are like,
around. It's across the board. It don't matter what nationality, cultural background, and you know what I'm saying. A lot of it is just because of how we're raised.
That part.
And so we're not raised to look at sex. We're raised to look at sex a certain way.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's demonized and, you know what I'm saying, picked apart. You know what I'm saying? They make you feel bad if you want to have sex. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's
True.
And it's crazy taboo, of course, in the black community because the biggest thing in the black community is you need to be going to church.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then that like ruins it across the board for some people. Like they don't, even if they was thinking it, they not ever gonna
Like act on it.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's so crazy. It's just like, people want to be free to express themselves, especially sexually. So for our people to kind of always have an eyebrow raised, at the people who do express themselves, it's just it's kind of crazy because what if somebody, like if that person decided like, oh, well, I like to just jump out of, planes all the time. Like, we're not raising the eyebrow at you because you want to jump out of planes. That's just what you want to do. So if I want to be free and who I am sexually, why is that a big issue for you? And it's like that a whole lot. Like a lot of people that I talk to with coaching is like, it's always something with our people that they're so judgmental is why they hold back from being who they truly are, freely sexually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel, and I've always felt that self-acceptance is, you have to accept every part of you. And a lot of people don't accept their sexualities because of how their fear of being judged, their fear of being degraded. And mainly women, women suppress their sexualities all the time because of social sexual hypocrisy. Men can be sexual beings, but women can't. And if they are, they're hoes or whatever the case, whatever they're labeled as. But I've always felt that you can say, yeah, I love myself, I this and that. But if you don't accept every part of yourself and embrace every part of yourself, including your sexuality, then you haven't completely accepted who you are as a person. And that's not complete self-love, because you can't love yourself and just love like 95% of yourself. You got to love 100% of yourself, including your sexuality, and embrace it as a part of who you are. So I think if more people did that and embrace themselves that way, there wouldn't be such a stigma on, my sex life is different, and this is what I like, and especially for women, this is what I like, So yeah, that's pretty much what
That's the reason why too I think this podcast is so important. Is because people want to talk about it. They want to talk about it from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
But they don't have somebody that they can actually trust to do so.
Yeah.
And we got with the podcast, we're gonna have our own Freaky Tales segment. So pretty much people can email, call in, text, however you need to get the story to us, and we'll give you some advice on it, what we think, that sort of thing, because people want to talk about it and even say this is what I want to try. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, people just need to be educated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's because there are people out here that's just giving just kind of random advice, or like, yeah, no, it's just you just get in there and you just do this, and you be like, yeah, nah, because somebody that's really entrenched in the community, you know what I'm saying, they gonna look at you like, yo, like, nah, like, one, we practice being safe. That's number one.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The space that we use and wherever we are hosting events got to be, you know what I'm saying, safe as well. You know what I'm saying?
I think I was lucky though. The way I was ushered into the lifestyle, that first event, man. Like I said, it was about 40 people. There were condoms everywhere, sanitary wipes, and you know, so it was like, I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool, you know. So once everything went down, they were literally everywhere, so you can reach and grab one, change them out if you need to. So I'm like, okay, I respect that, the cleanliness, and that's what made me feel like, okay, I'm about to go in there. You know, all I got to do is change condoms, wipe up real quick, and I'm back to action. You know, so
Back to the action, just
yeah,
no break, no nothing, just right back to it.
Honestly, like I had sex with 9 women 2 to 3 times each. They called me the Energizer. That was like a little nickname.
At that party?
At the first one I went to, the very first one I went to, yeah.
Oh, no wonder you felt spoiled.
Oh my God, yeah. It was like, I mean, and it's so funny because I'm a stag, right? And that was actually my first experience being a bull.
Well, you got to explain to the people what that is, even though
they don't know.
We're going to have that dictionary coming soon
the dictionary section
to be able to get, so they can learn the lingo that we'll be speaking on our podcast.
Learn lifestyle terms.
Anytime we give a term, you
got to define
break
it.
it down.
You definitely got to explain it.
Okay, so a stag is the opposite of a cuckold. A stag is a man who enjoys watching his woman have sex with another man, but he's not degraded. He's still alpha. He's still, you know, her man. You know, he's still supreme, but he gets off on her sexual arousing from getting aroused from another man. You see what I'm saying? And you know, if she goes out and does it solo, play solo, she sends him pictures and videos of the play, and it's like foreplay between the two. You know, and then when she comes home, he takes back what's his. He reclaims her. Reclaim sex. Reclaim sex is way more intense than makeup sex. People don't know that though. You know.
Okay. But that's why we're here.
Exactly. So at this first party, there was a couple, and the husband, he wasn't even playing. He was in his, you know, street clothes, drinking a Budweiser, telling me how she likes to get fucked. And he's sitting leaning back against the wall. I'm like, really? He was like, yeah, you got to go harder. She likes it harder. So I'm like, all right. I start jumping off the bed, pulling my weight down on, you know, like off the edge of the bed using the springs, and then that's when she started going nuts. And he's like, but he just sat there and drank the beer and watched. And I'm like, wow, this man is really instructing me on how to please his wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, this is a dope lifestyle. This is pretty cool. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Then years later, I found out I'm a stag. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I think what people don't understand is that there are so many rules and regulations and things to go by in the lifestyle. So that's why I'm glad we'll have that dictionary, available soon. So that way, you know, people will know, because you can't just go in and just say, hey, I want to do him or I want to do her. There's a certain etiquette. You know,
and speaking of etiquette, like when I was in a relationship, how we handled it, like I never talked to the other couple's woman. The men always talked and the women talked. You see what I'm saying? So that way it's like it leaves no room for, oh, I'm trying to talk to his wife on the side. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, like I'm respect their relationship. I'll talk to her when we get together. But me and him text to arrange things, you know, and then the women text to, you know, talk about what they want to talk about, you know. But the men establish, okay, this is what my wife likes. This is what she don't like. We down with this. We not down with this. And after those rules are established, everything's all good. But if you go outside of that, it could be problems.
Yeah, most swingers operate in the, you know, where the men are basically like the owner.
That makes sense. I mean, but have any one of you encountered any type of bad situation?
Like I said, the only bad situation I could say is going into a party that I wasn't, like it was a hood party. I was like, yeah, about face and dip. But but as far as like actual experiences, like lifestyle people are cool. Like once you establish,
They're actually super cool.
yeah, like really cool, really down to earth people. So like once you establish like this is what we do, this is what we don't do, real lifestyle people are going to abide by that because they just want to have a good time.
I noticed that too. A lot of them. Always, when people ask me about it, I always look at it like this: those people who attend those parties and everything has something to lose.
Yeah, absolutely.
They got something to lose, so you're not gonna be in there seeing nobody fighting and arguing and acting a fool.
These are professional working people.
Exactly, who got something to lose, and they're just there having a good time. And like I said, the few parties that I've attended, we've had a good time. Even not doing anything, you still have a good time because of the people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just a good time, and it's networking.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been several parties. It was several parties that me and my ex went to that we didn't participate. I mean, we met people and we maybe did our own thing, but it was like we didn't. No one made us feel pressure to like, oh, you here? Well, you got to do something. Like, no,
They don't do that.
No, they don't do that.
They literally will. They'll escort you around and let you see. They'll let you, see everything, see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because usually before people even enter into the lifestyle for real, they're curious.
Yeah.
So you can ease any nervousness that they have by introducing them to it. Like, hey,
right,
just check it out. See
even the space. Just walking them through the space.
See if something is interesting or whatever. And then if you have any questions, we'll let you know what is, this is that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The do's and the don'ts and how this is handled. Like, like people who may be into restraints. There's a right way to use restraints and there's a bad way to use restraints because you can hurt the person that you know what I'm saying, are with. You know what I'm saying? So there's a certain way to use handcuffs, a certain way to use rope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it's a lot.
But when you
I'm a dominant, so I have a lot of restraints and all that good stuff.
When you give people the info, you know what I'm saying, they feel more comfortable or whatever. It's just really about introducing them to it, making them feel like we ain't about to like throw you into the wolves.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You're right, because
some people jump right into it.
They want to do that.
Some people jump right into it, but most they a little reserved. They gonna peep out the spot. They trying to see what's going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They want to feel the vibe. Like, what people can I connect with? Like,
But they've played it in their head though.
Yeah.
They've played out what could possibly happen when they get there.
So
and then it's
kind of mentally prepared.
Yeah, but it's totally.
But that don't really work all the time. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You would get there and it not be nothing what you thought in your mind. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the thing. Like if you introducing to somebody, you gotta be like, yo, you need to come with a clear mind.
Yeah.
Like don't try to overthink and try to be wondering what's this and that. Just come and then take in the experience. Moment by moment, step by step. You know what I'm saying? And you just guide them through. And like when you ready to really, try something, if you see something that's like, ooh, yes, I want to try that.
But there's rules to the try though, because like you said, everything's so strategically put together.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
No means no is absolutely
that's number
what
one.
it is. You can't just go in there grabbing on people. And it's like you really have to have a conversation with whoever it is you're interested in, and then it just goes from there. But I think for me, like I said, it's the people more than anything. And then you don't have to do everything there. You can connect with someone and y'all may say, hey, let's meet up later. Or, I had somebody say to me, well, hey, we're going to Cancun. If you and your guy want to join
tag
us.
along. Next thing you know, you're in Mexico on the beach, get it in.
Exactly. But it's just those little things. Like a lot of people they're there, but they're there for certain reasons. Some people are there to get it in. Some people are there to connect on a different level. They want to be private about it. They don't, they don't necessarily want to handle that business there. They want to meet somebody, get to know them. Because sometimes they're looking for a longer term situation.
Yeah.
Like they're couples there that are professionally scouting for an extra party for a long-term situation.
It's always somebody scouting.
Getting groups together. Like me and my ex, we had a guy, we had a foursome with a couple, and they ended up breaking up. So I talked to my ex at the time. I'm like, you know what? what you think about him coming through for for you, because she was hooking me up with all her girlfriends, so I'm like, show her that love too. So he was her bull for 2 years. And every month, every other month or something like that, whatever, whenever I wanted to see I wanted to see her play, or whenever she was in the mood, I text him like, hey, you free this weekend? Come through, and he would come through for her, for her pleasure, you know what I'm saying? So, but it was safe, because we knew who he was, what he was about. He wasn't trying to come in between us. He would show up, do his job, and serve his purpose and leave. Because I always looked at, when I'm in a relationship, I look at other people as live sex toys. It's emotionless. It's almost like if you take a dildo with a suction cup and stick it to the wall. That's how I look at my woman having sex with another man.
Oh, wow.
Because she gets the emotion from me. You see what I'm saying? He's an orgasm. So that's how we, in intimacy and kissing and all that stuff, we kept between us. When she was with him, it was just straight fucking. That's it. And that's the dynamic that is set between couples in the lifestyle, where we understand, and that also keeps drama from happening, because if you understand and are able to emotionally separate your emotions from sex, then it's a great situation to be in, especially when you find two people that can do that. Because like I say, we have the emotion, but when we're with other people, it's just entertainment.
So it's like that. We just ain't keeping nothing go.
It's a business deal, a business transaction.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, straight up.
That's exactly what it is. That's why a lot of people in the lifestyle have contracts.
You're right. I didn't even look at it that way.
A lot of them have things written like, all right, we're gonna agree to these terms, but we're gonna put this in writing, and you have to abide by these terms. If you don't, we're out of here.
I am just getting back into the lifestyle after being on a hiatus for some years, because like I said, I've been doing everything solo. Like I can't even tell you how many threesomes I've had since like 2014, but I haven't been to a party. So we didn't do contracts. The men just talk like, it is what it is. So that's something new for me. I'm like, oh, they doing contracts now? Okay.
Oh yeah, they always been there. Always been there. So it just depends on what groups you're running in.
Right.
But a lot of people in the lifestyle, they keep it written.
But who in the lifestyle though? Is it the upper echelon or?
No, there's a lot of people that do written contracts.
Really?
Yeah.
We both like,
I'm like, wow, that's new news for me. Okay, I'm gonna make me a little contract then.
I mean, there's no blurred lines.
Yeah, you're right.
There's no blurred lines.
There's no.
I mean, if you've already established a rapport with somebody, then like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it makes sense. Like, maybe a contract ain't needed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if it's somebody, y'all meeting for the first time and y'all establishing things, that written contract, it can come in handy.
So
You know
my
what I'm saying?
version
Like,
of
hey,
that,
you know what? You ain't abide by what we agreed on. We out of here. We gone. Like, it's a wrap on that.
wow.
yeah, my version of that, I was interviewing a bull for a girl I was dating, and we didn't do a contract, but I sat down at her kitchen table with him while she was running around nervous, cleaning stuff and just trying to keep her mind busy. And I said, okay, you don't have to worry about buying her flowers. You don't have to court her. Don't worry about taking her to dinner. She got me for that. When she texts you, come over, do what you got to do. Your only responsibility is to take pictures and videos on her phone only. Like, I laid out all the terms for him at the table, and then I went over to Applebee's and got dinner, let them play, and then came back afterwards when they were done. You know what I'm saying? So it's for me. I don't know. Maybe, I guess, the communication between men. When men sit down and make an agreement, for me that was like enough. Because I my thing is this: if you disrespect me or her and go outside of that, you might get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, at that point, you're being disrespectful.
Right.
And I'm allowing you to do something that most 95% of men wouldn't. So it's like, why would you mess that up?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just serve your purpose. You're gonna get whatever you get out of it. I don't care about that. My concern is her pleasure. You know what I'm saying? So if we establish these terms and we sit down and, okay, all right, we shake on a bet, this is what we're gonna do. then for me that's. But like I said, now that I know they're doing
Their contracts.
I think I might, I might write one up though.
Like, I'm gonna email you the contract.
Yeah.
You know, before you even show up at my
this
house.
is some real professional shit. I feel that.
I mean, but I guess it's needed. You know.
Yeah. I mean, apparently it is if that's what they're doing now.
Well, that's definitely something I know we're gonna have to continue to, go on future podcasts because people are really intrigued and they really want to know how the lifestyle works. And we're here to help them with that.
Absolutely.
Another thing I know the people are waiting for me to talk about is the blowjob brunch.
Yeah.
So, we've been advertising that. It is a all women's event that's going to be November 28th.
Other than me.
Yeah,
I'll be there. I'm an author, so we're raffling off my product, so I'll be there.
He'll be there, but he won't be there for the instructional portion of.
I'll be fully dressed.
So the blowjob brunch is pretty much a girls' afternoon out. There will be some games. There'll be plenty of vendors there, and what's going to happen is my homegirl, Brittany Patrice, Be Risque Events. She has been a fellatio instructor for as long as I've known her, and everybody else is forever. So forever, she's like the best thing smoking out here. Yeah. When it comes to that, she is actually going to be leading the instructional part. So if anybody ever been to any of Brittany's events, y'all know she go hard. And it's pretty much just to give tips and tricks on how to please your man in that that department. Yeah. A lot of people know how to do it. A lot of people don't. Some people want to know because they want to be better at it. They don't want it to feel like a chore. You know what I mean, when they do it. So it's pretty much to help the ladies do what we have to do to keep the man going crazy.
Yeah.
And we will
keep them at home.
Yeah, keep them at home, right? So they're not outsourcing the job, right? Yeah. So there'll be devices that they'll be able to use for practice, and I think it's going to be a really good time. The tickets are available on Eventbrite. They're $50. If you want to be a vendor, you can reach out to me, Bo, or Drea. Drea's not here, but she will be next week. And that's pretty much it. It's going to be a really good time. Anything? Oh, yeah, he's going to be auctioning off what
books, a couple books, and my boa box. The boa box is I call it the black box. It has a couple of nicknames, but it has my wine glass, the book, of course, a personalized thank you letter, and a little really intense bullet vibrator toy. So when you're reading the stories, if it takes you there, you can handle your business.
Hey, I got a box. I haven't had a box for a while now.
Yeah, the box ain't no joke.
Yeah, the box is something else, and it also, we before we even decided that we were doing this brunch, we actually did a little poll out there, and we kind of asked men, how they feel about women, and when they're performing, how they're doing, and what we're not doing, what we need to do, that sort of thing. And I think the number one thing was that we don't do it enough.
Yeah.
And we don't do it long enough.
Yeah. But
is that true? Is that true?
Well, see, the thing with that is, it's my belief that it could, in a lot of cases, it's true. But 9 times out of 10, it's because of what the man is or isn't doing to make a woman want to give him head that long and that often and get into it. Because women will pull back sexually if things ain't right in the household. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
true.
If a man is complaining about what's going on sexually,
shaking your head, but it's
I mean, it's true.
I know it's true, but it's stupid.
Yeah,
it's
stupid. Because if the man withheld from you when you wanted it, it would be a problem. You know what I'm saying?
How do you know that they're not withholding?
Yeah.
Based on household things.
I'm just going off the scenario that you just gave. The biggest issue you said you came across is that women don't give it enough, or they don't go long enough. When they don't give it enough, like he said, it's because there's other things going on, right?
Yeah.
But those other things in the house don't have shit to do with y'all sex life. It shouldn't. people keep intertwined.
That's not necessarily true though, man.
I mean,
because my thing is this: if a man is taking care of business in home, out and out in the streets doing what he's supposed to do, a woman
It's gonna always
she gonna
be
take care of him.
Yep, taking care.
She's gonna feed into him, man.
I get it, but that's how we've been trained to be. That's not the right way it should be. Is what I'm
Explain that
saying.
though. Trained to be.
Like that's what we've been taught.
What?
The women should submit. The only reason they should submit is based on what we do for them.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. You got to
Damn,
make
so
a
what
woman
I'm-
want to submit.
But I'm saying it shouldn't be that way. If y'all coming together as two partners, it shouldn't be about what you done did in the house or what you done did while you was at work. Your intimacy is supposed to be separate from that. It shouldn't be intertwined with it.
But women, mentally, you see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I'm
Mentally,
saying
a woman is not like it. Like if I'm coming
I
home,
know some. I got examples, and they tell me all the time, which is why my marriage is dope right now. Is because we don't mix that with the other shit that don't have nothing to do with it. Your intimacy and your sex life should be separate from that. Because if everything else is dictating when you have sex or why you want to have sex, y'all gonna be going like dry. Y'all gonna be having dry ass spells. There's men out here and other women out here that's having dry spells who like, I ain't touched my man or my man ain't touched me in like months or years, and you be like, what the fuck? Like why?
but
y'all?
it's
But based
not
on because it's some friction in the household, so they
right.
just not.
Because let's be real. There are a lot of men that step outside of their relationships,
Right.
And if a woman is like sensing that or she's finding evidence of it, that's what I mean by taking care of home.
I mean,
she's
that's-
not. You know what I'm saying? She's not going to. If she think he's getting out there anyway, she's not going to feed into him like that when he come home. Like you in the streets, you for the streets.
In that scenario, that kind of makes sense. But we not talking. That ain't the average scenario though.
But
It's people whose sex life is terrible because it could be something. The kid did something bad at school, and I don't like the way.
So then
you
everything
dealt.
shuts down.
It's
So
literally
the stress
it's
of
women.
the household and life stops
because women react to a lot of things emotionally.
Yeah.
They attach all this stuff that don't really have nothing to do, shouldn't have anything to do with your intimacy with your partner.
But that you guys are a rare case.
Your intimacy because
most women will shut down
because our
if they're not
intimacy
emotionally satisfied.
our intimacy is supposed to be our release.
Release and release.
With each other and for each other.
Yeah.
And when you remove that because you keep putting external things that don't have nothing to do with y'all two, that's a problem.
Well, no. The external things that I'm talking about has everything to do with the couple. What's going on in the household? You know, what is the man doing to? Because I love to spoil my woman. So if a woman is used to being treated like a type of way, and the man falls off. You see what I'm saying? So he's not doing the things he used to do. It's like she's not stimulated. So it's like it's not going to make her want to, do that.
Yeah.
But it also goes both ways though. It ain't just about the
I get
man. It's not about the man pouring into his woman to make her want to get. I mean, the woman has to take care of her man too to make to make him want to do things.
I mean, that's anything from like make sure the house is well kept
Yeah.
and a good meal and if you're working hard, you come home from work and a back rub or just the smaller intimate things. I think go a long way with men.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's the little things for me.
But like you said, in his case, him and his wife dating.
Y'all are a rare case because they separate.
I'm going by people who got successful relationships, and they tell me sex should not be intertwined with anything else that's going on in your house because
I did just hear that.
It will ruin your relationship. People end up breaking up. That's why. That's one reason why people cheat. Because the other stuff is like way more important. Like I ain't shit now because I ain't take the trash out, or I ain't shit now because. But I'm saying this is real life shit, bro. Women can get emotional about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Whether it's about the kids, whether it's about what's happening at work, and they let that affect how they are with their partner. And I'm saying, and I'm telling y'all, like that is like the worst shit that you can do. That's what will start to poke holes between y'all. That's where the holes start.
And then they'll
you know what I'm saying?
for somebody else to fill those holes
then if you do something that they really don't like, then that starts to widen the hole. So the stuff that you talking about, like if a dude stopped doing what he was doing in the beginning, or if she feel like he's stepping out because he being secretive, he doing all this weird shit.
Yeah.
Like those things are like secondary to the other stuff that was already poking holes in your relationship. Because the biggest issue between people in relationships is that they don't communicate.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So if your communication ain't on point, which is why a lot of people in the lifestyle, they don't have the same issues the average couple has because they established things.
Yeah.
Their communication is at a certain place and a certain level where they don't have to feel like they got to hide something from the other person. Y'all on the same page. We got an understanding. We good.
Yeah.
Even with me coaching us, that's the number one thing, communication.
The average couple, even like I remember my uncle telling me some silly ass shit like, make sure you don't tell your girl about this or do this, and I'm like, dog, why I gotta be fucking secretive? Because if she find out,
it's a wrap.
Now I'm a fucking liar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, nigga, I can't trust you with shit now.
Yeah.
Like, that shit is just not the way to go. Like, when I hear women tell other women, like, make sure you got your little account on the side, had this on the side, and do this on the side. I'm like, why you gonna go into a relationship hiding shit from your partner? Because if he find out, now he gonna be like,
that's real crazy.
Now either he leaving you or now he cheating on you because he be like, shit, you doing whatever you doing, and it could be more than that. So he like, fuck it,
I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
You're right.
Yeah.
But that's so crazy because like we started this with why women don't do it or do it enough or do it alone. We got this whole dialogue.
Different
so
dynamic.
it just shows that there are so many different things that could come into play to prevent them from being where they need to be, as far as intimacy is concerned. But that's the number one thing that the men said, is that we don't do it enough and we don't do it long enough. So I was saying to him and Drea yesterday, I said, well, we could easily flip-flop that. You know what I'm saying? And the women could say,
a lot of women complain about that.
The men don't do it enough. And they don't do it long enough.
That nigga always moving. That nigga talking about his neck hurting.
That he can't breathe. Right. That part. But that's a whole nother show. But I just really wanted to, let people know how the blowjob brunch even came to be. And a lot of it has to do with me and coaching and figuring out just new ways to just get the information out, the educational part out, just have some fun at the same time. So I think, with Erotic Concierge, we aim to please and get it done and get it done correctly. And with this podcast, I think we'll succeed at what we're aiming
for
to
sure.
do. Right?
We gotta help a lot of people, educate a lot of people, because I definitely like to break down the misconceptions about the things that I love. When people look at the rare times I say, well, I'm into this, I'm into that. Well, they got a million questions and they make all these assumptions about different things. I'm like, no. That's not how it is. Let me educate you. And then after the conversation, they're like, oh, okay, that's not what I thought. Like, yeah.
That's why I'm so glad we talked about, lifestylers and, swinging and stuff, because there's such a huge misconception with that. Well, like I said, we'll get deeper, of course, into that. And,
there's so many misconceptions.
I know.
About, what I'm saying, lifestyle things. And so, yeah. I mean, it's good that you decided to do the podcast because people going to need to, hear this information. You know what I'm saying?
And we have a lot. I mean, it's not just, the lifestyle part. There's so much more to, Erotic Concierge and what we got going on. That's why we want people to listen, to the podcast, of course, but we want people to be engaged. That's why we said we wanted to have the Freaky Tales segment, where people can call in or email us or, text us if y'all know our number.
Yeah, right.
Y'all stories,
Yeah, we got a number. So for the people that's viewing after this week, you can call in. The number that you can call into is 248-854-9850. It's on your screen. You can kind of lock that in your phone now so you can know what it is. But also, if you want to join in on the chat, you can actually come over to Groove Radio Detroit's Facebook page at Groove Radio DET, because I know a lot of people have Facebook, and it'd be a lot easier. So you can come to the Facebook page and you can drop us your comments. If y'all got an email, right?
Yep, we do. It is Erotic Concierge LLC at Yahoo, or Marie at eroticconcierge.com.
There you go. And
So
you can send
do
your
that.
stories.
You can
then.
send your stories.
Yeah.
We'll read them live. Of course, it's anonymous unless you say that, we can say your name. But we'll, read them live and just kind of see what the scenario is, say what we would have done or, wouldn't have done in the situation. But, I mean, we're going to have some fun with this.
It's definitely going to be fun. It's going to be
Yeah, I think it's
educational.
really cool.
I mean, we got to
I like coming from the couple's perspective because me and my wife now we kind of like doing some things in the lifestyle, just kind of like giving people a different way to look at how they do things within a relationship.
Yeah.
How they play with each other. You know what I'm saying? Other things that can be brought into the relationship that you probably never thought about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Us really increasing our level of communication, which is really like the foundation for everything. So regardless of what part of the lifestyle you want to be in or whatever activities you want to partake in, your communication got to be on point.
And that's why I'm glad I'm like that, the coaching side of it, because we can definitely get into, those sort of topics that people want to know on the mental side of it, the communication side of it. So we can, help them figure out what they need to do in their relationship to make things better. Not just, sexually, but because, you got to have that mental factor too, be understanding to each other's needs. So I think we do. We have a very, very good panel. We got the two guys, and then, of course, it's just me today, but Drea will be here next week. So, we kind of got it all in. We got a super duper vetted lifestyler here. Somebody that's getting into the lifestyle or been in it.
I've been in it for a while.
He's been in it for a while.
My wife is new.
My
The
wife is new to it.
But that's a good thing though, because then we got that too. And then Drea, she's been in the lifestyle for a while. I'm kind of just an ally to it all.
You just a who?
I'm an ally to the situation. I'm learning as I go along.
You learn as you go along.
I mean, it's all fun. Like
we
said.
all learn as we go along. Because you're always going to learn something new.
It's always something new.
They add new terms every year.
And that's why I said the dictionary will be important for our listeners and our viewers. Because
I got to catch up because I didn't know they were doing like written contracts.
They're doing all that stuff now.
I mean, the majority. I would say this: the majority of the ones that I come across are really owner and slave type situations.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I ain't there yet.
I've never had a contract with any of my submissives. We just, they told me what they like. I told them, what I liked, what they can expect, and then, but really, they didn't ask. They're submissive, so they let me do what I wanted to do. And they trusted me to, they know I wasn't gonna hurt them. Because me being a dominant, I'm different from Christian Grey. Because people are like, oh, you like a black Christian Grey? I'm like, kind of, but no.
That 50 Shades of Grey stuff?
Yeah, well, I don't.
Well, 50 Shades of Grey is kind of like it was watered down.
Yeah.
It was watered
from the
down.
books, but I don't get turned on from causing pain. I get turned on from causing pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I guess they don't really have to ask, what I'm going to do to them because they know it's going to be pleasurable.
We're gonna make sure
That sounds like the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you establish something, a rapport with somebody, and they feel like they can trust you, then you can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we definitely will get into that. That.
But they got terms. They got terms like you're gonna be my slave for a year, or you're gonna be my slave for 2 years, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or however many months. You know what I'm saying?
I got one of my clients that literally left the man in a cage and went away and came back.
And he was still in the cage?
How he gonna get out?
Shit, wow.
So, she leaving food and water for him, like all that
in the dispenser.
She telling me this, and I'm like, "Are you
like
serious?"
But you know what? It's something for everybody.
It definitely is. The pony stuff. Like there's so many different things and ponies and puppies and furries and
furries.
It's a furry fetish
stuff. Yeah.
Well, they wear costumes,
but you know what?
Or they act. They're acting out the role of an animal.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's like kind of sexy when women wear the butt plugs with the tails.
I mean, that's cool. But I'm talking about a full on.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Full costume.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I love cosplay because you know what I'm saying. I love.
Don't even give me.
Let's not even go there right now.
Listen, I mean,
Let's
but
save
that-
for next week.
That is like that's the
You're talking
sexiest
to
shit.
a real life superhero here
That's the
Yeah.
sex,
who
that's
makes his own costumes.
I love
and
seeing
everything.
women in cosplay. I was like, that's the sexiest shit ever.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah,
It's just
'cause I
sexy.
had that whole Sailor Moon thing the last time we were here, and just
Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah. It's sexy.
I can't.
It just
relate.
is.
I'm
Especially if you got like a superhero that you like. Like if I came across a chick and she would dress up like Wonder Woman for me.
Oh, it's on the pop.
But Wonder Woman is cute though, so.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh, but you know what? I'm not gonna lie.
Just being an Amazon woman and you come in, you got this big ass gold breastplate or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Just and you decked out and you got the man. That shit is sexy.
I've had several women
I'm not there yet.
talk to me about having sex in my costumes.
Yep, I
Because
heard
they want to have sex with Spider-Man. They want to have sex with Black Panther. They want to have sex with
Spider-Man.
Deadpool. Yeah. I do
Not Deadpool, I can see. Spider-Man, not so much.
Yep. They don't,
That's crazy.
sometimes they don't even care which costume
T'Challa.
it is. But the problem
I
is the
can see
costumes are so hot. You know.
Oh, that's crazy because on Halloween, so I had a Deadpool costume. I had my Deadpool mask, and then
Word.
my wife had my collar and my leash, and she walked me around. We
I
went
seen
to
that.
Ferndale.
Y'all had that
That's
picture.
dope.
I seen that. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
so
look
we
at
had
them.
we had a little fun with it, and I was like, yeah, you can walk me around. We about to have some fun with it. So you know,
Couples that play together stay together.
That's what I keep hearing, huh?
we have a good ass time though.
Y'all look
You know
like
what I'm
y'all
saying?
have a good time.
But it really starts with our communication. Yeah, see, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go hard on the cosplay.
Well, no, I see we got a whole lot we got to cover. But Erotic
Yeah,
Life,
it's definitely a
it's
lot
here
of
for
stuff to
that.
cover.
I know we can keep going and keep going and keep going. But like I said, we got the blowjob brunch coming up November 28th. After that, we have the lap dance affair, which is a co-ed event.
And I'll be there.
He'll definitely be there for that one.
Dope.
And
The flyer
then-
ready for that?
When is the flyer gonna be ready for that?
Whenever you give me the information.
Oh, don't do me like that.
My bad. I put you out there. I just gave him an alley oop. He was like,
It's
yeah, so
Boom.
give me the information. And then
It's okay. It'll be done
It'll
at
be
the
done
end of the
soon.
week, okay? And we got quite a few things coming up. I think people will be excited to see, but I feel good about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Bring something new to Detroit. You know, it hasn't been here for a while.
Yeah, so we're just trying to revamp. I know the communities have fallen by the wayside, so we just kind of want to
they still there.
they there.
They
but
just
Scattered.
secret
This-
societies. Now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
but they
saying?
have to be because of what has happened in the community. So now we want to just they ain't got to be all like that. Let's revamp and figure out a new way.
It is what it is. I ain't tripping. It don't have to be out there.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, I want people to be safe. We have a good time. Everything ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Straight up.
you know what I'm saying? And so, like I tell people, like if I introduce you to something, it's because I already know you got the interest. I'm not coming to seek you out like I'm trying to scout people. I'm not about to do that.
Right.
If you ain't already connected to me, you're not gonna know. Like half of the people that know me, they don't know anything about me being a part of the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not coming to pull you into something. If we just end up talking about something and you be like, yeah, man, I've been thinking about, then I can be like, hey, you know what?
We just had this conversation.
I can help you out, and I know
Yesterday.
somebody that you can go to. You know what
We
I'm saying?
just talked about the whole vetting and just pretty kind of having our nose turned when somebody comes and speak to us about it that has no idea. They just kind of heard through the grapevine. It's like, but if you can name drop some people that be around us and whatever, okay, we might hold a conversation with you about it then. But it's just one of those things. You got to keep it kind of like a secret society for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, it is what
Everybody
it is.
can't come.
I mean, me and my wife got people following us now. Just us being open about our love life, and then just keeping it real. Like, yo, like sex is like a thing. Like, y'all should be able to talk about sex. And then all of a sudden, we had these people. They starting to follow us. We started doing a little weekly thing on Instagram. It turned into us being on Zoom, so Instagram wouldn't be trying to shut us down.
Right.
And we just started with something simple, like just doing unboxings or whatever. And so the little kink treats that we would get, we'd do the unboxing, show them the stuff that we got, tell them how it's supposed to be used, and all that
that's what's
stuff,
up.
explain everything, and So, and then it just kind of like blossomed into like, oh, like, all right. So now, well, the pandemic kind of shut things down. We couldn't do no events, or whatever. But we got some events that's coming up too. You know what I'm saying? And so next year,
maybe we'll be able to go live from some of those events.
Yeah.
Kind of give people a little sneak peek.
A little sneak peek, but it depends on what's going on.
Right.
yeah, no, they may have to just hope to see some photos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You say no live.
Not for real, because some people don't. A lot of people that I come across, they really don't be wanting their identity out there.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. I'm like, that's cool. I ain't trying to put you on blast. I know you worried about your coworkers, the corporate job, and they come across a photo and be like, we got to bring you.
Myself, so I don't have to deal with
we got to bring you into the office. Yeah. Like I don't have that worry, but I'm just saying, like literally,
people do though.
They have that worry. You know what I'm saying? And so
I get it.
Yeah.
I totally understand.
Yeah. That's what it's for, discretion. And the discretion is the sexy part anyway.
Oh, yeah. I like being sneaky.
I feel like you're sneaking around.
Yeah. Like literally.
The first time I had sex, like in a public place, man, that shit was so, like, exhilarating, bro. It was crazy.
I love the next day after an experience when you're walking around civilians thinking about the crazy shit you just did the night before. One time I had a foursome with 3 women, and the next day I'm just like, wow. And I'm with my teammates. They talking about their individual sex. Like I had this one chick. I'm like, bro,
you like that's whack.
I'm like, I'm looking like, okay.
Like, that's cool, cuz, but
like,
I just had 4 at one time.
Right,
y'all need to step y'all game up.
And I think that people do kind of like, once you get into it and you start, being active, you start looking at everything else like, it's so boring.
Your perspective changes. Like I've been in 3 polys, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, when
not
people.
There yet.
Oh no, polys are.
Yeah,
dope.
I'm not there.
That's a lot for most people to wrap their
sure,
mind around. Which also we definitely got to have a show on that because there's definitely a lot of misconceptions about the poly lifestyle.
It is.
There's tons of misconceptions, and so I know a couple of people that probably be willing to come on here too.
Okay, well,
because
we'll
they're actively.
shoot for that
Let's do a poly episode.
They're actively in it. You know what I'm saying? And so people
right now.
Yeah,
that'd be perfect.
And people really like be on some other stuff. Like they just really don't understand.
I know a lot of people who are in the poly for different reasons, and it's not what people think. I think people think like, when you're poly, just everybody is sleeping with each other. I know somebody in the poly.
They literally think it's just about fucking.
It's not.
They do not. Like they do not all be in the bed at the same time together ever.
Mine were. We was always together.
Well, you different.
This is true.
I mean, it's some polys that's like that too.
Like that.
I mean,
like they never all be in the bed together.
Established
they
that.
That's
you know
their
what I'm saying?
rule. Like,
but the average poly, it ain't. That's like secondary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We was out here chasing.
It's other things. It's other things about what make it. The pros of it. You know what I'm saying? You being able to build something.
Or the 3 income situation. And
the 3 incomes. You know what I'm saying? Just
3 people working towards one goal.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
It sounds cute.
Shoot, more than 3. Some people got more than 3 in that situation.
Poly don't just mean 3. It could mean,
Yeah, I'm about to make my head explode.
I'm sure people listening are like, okay, the explosion point is coming.
Yeah, like, we going to talk about this next week.
Good.
When
we
comes,
definitely got to have a poly episode.
Yeah, because when Dre comes,
we do.
I mean, because y'all the experienced ones, I'm here,
Just so it can be educational, because people just really need to know. Like
it's breaking down
what
those
has been
assumptions and those misconceptions, because like you said, there's a crap ton of misconceptions and assumptions made about people who are poly.
Yeah,
and it's like I would rather educate people than people just be out here just shooting off at the mouth, sounding like idiots when they don't know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And it's just like, bro, that's not what it is. Like. Let me educate you. Like me and my best friend, we had these discussions sometimes because he's traditional marriage, and like that's cool. They've been together since high school. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he doesn't see, like he's not into the lifestyle. But with me being in the lifestyle and have taken a different path in life than a traditional relationship or marriage, we have those discussions / debates,
all the time.
All the time. They get a little heated sometimes. Like, bro, it's we just think that it'll end like, okay,
well,
agree to disagree.
The average person that's monogamous, you know what I'm saying, they're not gonna let go of that because
no.
like I said, we've been raised and trained to look at it a certain way. We've been trained to look at marriage a certain way. We've been
Yep.
trained to look at sex a certain way. Just like we, you know what I'm saying? Just
We can go on and on and on and on about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So how about
let's do that
we-
episode.
so we gave y'all
let's-
some extra time tonight.
Right. So how about
Saying,
so
make sure
let's-
y'all tune in next week.
For sure.
Wait, let's how about we do this? Let's go ahead and let's make next week's episode the poly
poly?
episode. In that time,
Well, if I can get him, I got to make sure.
Well, let's
they
do 2 weeks
available.
then.
Okay,
just to
let's
be
do-
sure.
let's
Let's do
do that.
the third
Okay.
episode 3.
So what we'll do is, viewers, if y'all want to throw some topics out at us, you can do that. I think that'll be a cool thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of just tell us what y'all want us to talk about. Of course, we will have things that we absolutely have to discuss.
Right.
But
Right.
you guys can,
questions.
thoughts. Email us. Like I said, freaky tales to give us your stories.
I'm looking forward to the
I'm
freaky
looking
tales.
forward to freaky tales as
I'm
well.
an author, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I love.
He like, I'm ready for that.
ready
I
for
need. I
stories.
want to
ready
know.
for
I got my own stories, you know what I'm saying?
And
Of course.
we'll have to have you read.
Well, no, I'm not saying like stories from the book. I'm talking about my actual.
Oh, your actual freaky tales.
my
Oh,
real,
Lord.
the real shit. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Because every story in my book is fiction, but one. So it's like, no, I'm talking about like my actual experiences. That I think it could, people would be interested in hearing because I've lived a very different sex life.
Well.
And
Sounds like it.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Serena.
I've experienced a lot of
Hey,
different
cuz.
things that like most men either dream of. I mean, I've been, I don't know, it's just been very different for me. I've been very fortunate in my lifestyle pursuits, which is how I've learned all of this stuff. Dealing with different people and those different experiences. My bucket list being pretty much empty, minus maybe 1 or 2 things.
Here we go.
And also, but like I said, I love hearing other people's experiences, and I love hearing women's experiences.
Well, I'm looking forward to everybody telling me, their stories. So
Yeah.
make sure y'all email them, and you can DM them to me. If you know my number, text it. We're looking forward to them. I think it'll be a really good time. Don't forget, you guys can also call in to the show.
Give us the number again.
Yep, 248-854-9850.
So that's Mondays, 10 p.m.
Yeah, lock it in.
Erotic Life Podcast. Me, myself, Miss Superbad,
Body of Adonis, the boa.
Mr. Larry Wood,
Hell.
and Drea, who's not here. So we'll see y'all next week.
Thank you for your time.
Peace out, y'all.